and I have been lucky to see a few of my technologies in the market and in use. I head a group called NCL Innovations, which is a group which is relatively new, which is trying to build new models to new delivery mechanisms to take ideas to the market, but at the same time find ways to strengthen the pipeline of ideas emerging out of NCL. And Venture Center is an independent Section 25, which is a not-for-profit private limited company. It's a business incubator initiated by NCL. It's located in the larger NCL campus, but separately in a sub-part of our campus called the NCL Innovation Park. That is something which I'm also a founder director of that. Okay, so let me get started. The talk today is about improving technology commercialization at research institutes, and I'm going to share some of the experiments which we are trying to do and what are the kind of things that we are trying to do over here. Okay. My talk is divided into a few parts. I'll just give you a brief introduction about NCL for people who may not be aware, and also talk a little bit about challenges that we face. NCL has a reasonably strong track record in the country in technology commercialization, but still there are several challenges, and what are those challenges and how to address them is the issues that we have been grappling with. And I'll talk about some initiatives and experiments. I'm calling it initiative and experiments because these are things which will bear fruit over a period of time. And while there are some success stories to talk about, I think the real results will emerge over a period of time only, and then conclude with a few recommendations. So let me start with this. So we are part of the CSIR, and CSIR has a very clear mandate to work on research which actually creates and delivers benefits to the people. And one of the NCL's first director actually framed this mission where it actually puts down very clearly the two main goals. One is to further knowledge and to apply it for the benefit of the people of India. One of the things which I must point out is that if you put a research labs on a scale which goes from academia to industry, different labs fit in different places. Many of the DRDO labs are more on the right towards industry, because on the other hand NCL places itself a little more closer to the to academia. We are one of the largest in terms of chemical and allied sciences in terms of number of PhDs that come out in that area. We have provided thought leadership on IP and science-led innovations in India. Dr. Mashelkar is an ex-director of the National Chemical Laboratory. The first instances of IP licensing, international IP licensing from the country were from NCL, and there are several other contributions, and we have a reasonably strong track record. So we start from a reasonably strong base. NCL Innovations is a group which is basically trying to build an ecosystem, try and promote technology innovations, because NCL all said and done has many goals, and sometimes the technology aspect of things gets lost in all that, and our goal is also to try and push that. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. As I was telling you, NCL has had a strong track record in the past. Just to briefly mention, we started off with activities which were aimed at building the basic chemicals and dye industries along the western belt of India. So what you see in Gujarat, this thing, along with UDCT, which is the University of Bombay. A couple of our directors have roots in the University of Bombay's Department of Chemical Technology. During the Green Revolution, the agrochemicals was something which people forget to talk about when they talk about the Green Revolution. But at one time, a large proportion of the agrochemicals base in India had roots in some of our national labs. And 70s, when the patent regime changed in India, disallowing product patents for pharma, it was actually that gave rise to the pharma industry that you see today. We have contributed quite a bit there. I have another slide, but Cipla, for example, had a series of technologies which from us, I wish we had held some equity in those companies at that time. Dr. Anji Reddy is an alumnus of NCL, by the way, and there are several others all over the Indian pharma industry. There are people who have roots in the National Chemical Laboratory. In the 80s, the focus shifted to import substitution. Okay, and Indira Gandhi moved the country in a different direction, and we contributed with several other things. There was even a plant in IPCL which was running on NCL technologies at some time. It still does. And in the 90s, when financial crisis hit India, many labs lost a major chunk of their research funding. Okay, and so it was time to aggressively market research labs all over the world. And we started the initial wave of research services. I have GE there because many people may not know that the GE center in Bangalore, the initial work started in NCL. Okay, the person, it was a patent of NCL that GE came to buy and started a large research program, and that was the basis for the creation of the GE center, which later spread to various other businesses of GE. And I do think that this wave is a wave, I mean the current, since 2005 when the government started pumping in a lot more money, I mean there is of course the focus has again shifted to technology, and also partnership models, entrepreneurship and innovation will be what will carry the day. So with that note and a few glimpses of some of our technologies which we have been going through. These are a couple of, this I just picked pharma as a sector where we have been working, but there are several others. These are some recent ones where NCL is working. This is something which is a plant actually in execution right now. Some biomed implants, those polycarbonate bottles you see, there's a core technology there which comes from NCL. This is something in some of the PNG products actually. This is also has an interesting story because this is where we couldn't spot the opportunity for these technologies. Okay, and there are several others, some in the rural industry. This is very interesting where basically the shepherds, by increasing the productivity of sheep by it producing 2 kids instead of 1, the earnings of a shepherd has gone up double, okay, has become double. So that's another area where we are working. Okay, where people do not have any reason, or Indian companies hesitate to take technology risks, okay, and they're more because they can make money without taking technology risks, and so they prefer to come late, whereas in other situations, other companies, multinationals especially, may be willing to come early. And as you can see here, scientists prefer to work on the left. They don't want to spend too much time and effort on the right. Okay, but if you need to take technologies to the market, you need to do all of those things. Okay, I think I'll skip that. So let me just give you a picture of what the challenges are for innovation productivity. This is a simplistic view that I use because I find it convenient to use. Essentially what I'm trying to show here is that a technology idea basically consists of a problem and a solution. The solution kit or the solution set is typically available with some of our scientists. Often there is a disconnect to the problem. As Chandru also mentioned, it's nice to have the markets near you. That means it's nice to feel those problems hitting you every day, but that doesn't happen necessarily as much in India. A technology idea is taken through some early stages and then taken to the market. The scientists, most scientists are, one category of scientists are very happy just building this part as an exploratory exercise without necessarily even looking at the problem solution approach. Okay, but there are some who wish to look at the problem solution approach and take it ahead. But even those, they might take it this far and say, oh, that's where I stop. Okay, I'll file the first patents. I will say that this is my invention, but that may be the end of their interest. So who takes it ahead? We have also seen that there are cases where people are interested in technology, okay, but they want it at a very late stage. Okay, they want it where everything is set up for them and it's de-risked completely. So there is clearly a gap. Okay, and it's also very well known that the largest proportion of your investment in work, time, everything happens in the later stages. Okay, and the complexity of the whole process is actually there in the later part of the process. So I have a few, you can have a look later at some of these slides, but basically the sum of it is that there are problems, and some of these problems I've just tried to focus on over here, and I'll try to tell you what we are trying to do about some of these. Okay, so right up front on this side, the first issue that comes up is just the problem solving orientation, okay? A mindset basically that it is important to look at problems and try and explore solutions for them. One approach to science is just to explore. That's perfectly fine, there's nothing wrong, but you need to have a community of people who connect problems to solutions, okay? So many of our scientists create a lot of capabilities in this space, okay, often in India. We have a weakness in India in problems. By the way. So an example of this would be somebody who is studying, say, the reasons why TB happens is a person who is studying